How's everyone doing? Today I'll be doing my choices and predictions video for the 86th Academy Awards, the Oscars, which will be on this Sunday. And let me know what you think of my choices and predictions, and let me know what your choices and predictions are for the Oscars as well. And let me know if you're going to watch the Oscars. I know some people are really into it. They have Oscar parties. And then on the other end of the spectrum, there's people who aren't in it at all. So let me know if you're going to watch or you're just going to skip it. And, you know, for me, I've just gotten into the celebration of the Oscars every year. You know, I kind of get into it for the movie aspect and the appreciation of cinema. But, you know, there are a lot of politics going on. I don't always agree with the choices. There's usually a lot of snubs, and there are some snubs this year as well. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship for me for the Oscars. But, again, for the pageantry of it all and for, you know, the appreciation of cinema, I'm going to watch it. And, of course, every year there's going to be snubs for the Oscars as well. So let me know what snubs you think there were this year. And for this choices and predictions video, I'm going to be going over just the main, more popular categories for the nominations. And I'm going to go ahead and start this off with the Best Animated Feature category. And the nominees are The Croods, Despicable Me 2, Ernest and Celestine, Frozen, and The Wind Rises. Now, personally, I think The Wind Rises should win. I think it's a fantastic movie, very beautiful, very visually stunning, and a great Miyazaki film who also did Spirited Away, which is one of my personal favorites. Now, that's what I would pick personally, but I think Frozen will win. Frozen is just such a popular movie. It's also very beautiful to look at, very aesthetically appealing, and it's a fun movie. And I think that will win because it just seems to have so much buzz around it, so much popularity. And it's a Disney film, and people will eat that up. And again, I would pick The Wind Rises, but I'm going to go with Frozen as my prediction who will win for Best Animated Feature. Next up is Best Foreign Language Film, The Broken Circle Breakdown from Belgium, The Great Beauty from Italy, The Hunt from Denmark, The Missing Picture from Cambodia, and Omar from Palestine. The Hunt, great performance from Mads Mikkelsen, great actor, and a tragic story as well. It kind of reminds me of the movie Doubt with Philip Seymour Hoffman, may he rest in peace. Definitely deserving to be nominated, but for me personally, I'm going to go with my choice and my prediction, both being The Great Beauty from Italy. Just heavily influenced from La Dolce Vita and Fellini, very Fellini-esque movie, and Rome is such a beautiful city, provides a great backdrop for this film. Rome is basically a character in itself, but it's such a visually stunning movie and just a great reflection piece as well. So I'm going to go with The Great Beauty. And next, Best Actress in a Supporting Role, and the nominees are Sally Hawkins for Blue Jasmine, Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle, oh, so beautiful, Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave, Julia Roberts for August Osage County, and June Squibb for Nebraska. Julia Roberts, I kind of feel like she doesn't necessarily deserve the nomination, but she's been around for a long time, so there's a lot of love for her and appreciation for her as an actress overall. Now, I love June Squibb in Nebraska. She blew me away. It was a great performance. My favorite performance of that film. She was just so hilarious and so outlandish. Just a typical gossipy kind of curmudgeonly character. You kind of love to hate her, but there is underlying love to that character as well. But Lupita Nyong'o was fantastic in 12 Years a Slave. She really blew me away. I do love Jennifer Lawrence and everything she does. I think she's a great young actress. But I think I'm going to go with Lupita Nyong'o. I think her performance is really astounding, and especially for her being such a not experienced actor as well. It was her first feature film, and she did such an excellent job. She seemed like a seasoned veteran in 12 Years a Slave in her performance. And you really feel for that character of Patsy as well, and that goes into her performance too. So I would pick Lupita Nyong'o as my choice and my prediction as well, because I do think she will win. And next up, Best Actor in a Supporting Role, and the nominees are Barkhad Abedi for Captain Phillips, Bradley Cooper for American Hustle, Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave, Jonah Hill for The Wolf of Wall Street, and Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club. Now, this is actually a really tough category for me because I really enjoyed Michael Fassbender's performance as the slave owner. He was just, just an evil character. You just really hated him, and such an intense performance from him. And Jared Leto's performance in Dallas Buyers Club was excellent as well. Really enjoyed his performance. Really blew me away with his transformation. And I think that either one of those choices I'd be happy with personally, but I think Jared Leto will win for Dallas Buyers Club, and I'm going to go with that choice as well, even though, right there, I'm like 1A, 1B for Michael Fassbender's performance and Jared Leto's performance. Again, Jonah Hill being nominated again, yes, it was probably his best performance of his career, but I don't think he deserves to be nominated for it, personally. And I definitely don't think he deserved to be nominated previously for Moneyball either. So, people just love Jonah Hill. I'm not personally a fan of his, but and Bradley Cooper's in everything. He did decently in American Hustle, but you know, I'm definitely going to pick over Michael Fassbender and Jared Leto over him. I'm going to go with Jared Leto. But I wouldn't be disappointed if Michael Fassbender won. Phenomenal actor, one of the better actors of this new generation coming up, and I really love his team-ups with Steve McQueen as well. Another great one there with 12 Years a Slave. And next up is the Best Actress in a Leading Role, and the nominees are Amy Adams for American Hustle, Cate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, Sandra Bullock for Gravity, Dame Judi Dench for Philomeno, and Meryl Streep for August Osage County. And I think Meryl Streep, great performance. She's kind of more subdued role in that one. But of course, she's a legendary actress, and she just seems to be getting better with age, like fine wine. Great performance again. All of these actresses were really good. Amy Adams, I really like her as an actress, but I think out of all the ones on here, she'd be my least favorite. I'm not a Sandra Bullock fan at all, but I think she did a pretty decent job in Gravity. And I think that really kind of plays to the director of Gravity as well, Alfonso Cuarón. I think that had a lot to do with that, getting that performance out of her. But I'm going to go with Cate Blanchett. Whew. Her performance in Blue Jasmine, phenomenal. Like, all the rest of them, great actresses in here. Great performances, especially from Meryl Streep. And again, to me, it pales in comparison this year. Cate Blanchett should take it in a landslide, in my opinion. Her performance as Jasmine, just, you know, from 1 minute going for such vanity and having those daydreams, and then to the next being so fragile and breaking down and talking to herself. Just a phenomenal performance of showing that, you know, that mental breakdown and just a fragile psyche as well. So that's who I think definitely deserves it, and if she doesn't get it, I'll be shocked and very disappointed. Cate Blanchett deserves it. And next up, Best Actor in a Leading Role, and the nominees are Christian Bale for American Hustle, Bruce Dern for Nebraska, Leonardo DiCaprio for The Wolf of Wall Street, Chiwetel Ejiofor for 12 Years a Slave, and Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club. Matthew McConaughey, man, he has become a phenomenal actor. I think he's been good for a while, but he's also had really kind of movies that aren't that great. Failure to Launch, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Surfer Dude. But then you also have great performances from him, such as the underrated Frailty, even his earlier roles, Dazed Confused, All Right. And then you have Time to Kill, you've got Mud, Killer Joe, Lincoln Lawyer. I mean, the list goes on. And now with Dallas Buyers Club as well. I mean, he was just, you know, phenomenal in this role. Both him and Jared Leto were just the main driving forces of that film. And not just for the weight loss, the dedication to the roles, but just the way they acted out the performances was just such believability in them as well. So for me personally, I really like Matthew McConaughey, but Chiwetel Ejiofor was just incredible as well, in the lead character for 12 Years a Slave. Solomon Northup, who was the free man who got kidnapped and sold into slavery. Just a phenomenal performance, and he definitely deserves a lot of accolades. And you know, those two are really the ones that I think are most deserving this year. Christian Bale is one of my favorite actors. I think he's easily one of the best actors of our generation, along with Daniel Day-Lewis and Tom Hanks. Those are some of my personal favorites right there. There's a lot of other great actors out there, but those are just a couple of my favorites. But for his role in American Hustle, I wasn't necessarily big fan of that performance per se. Nebraska with Bruce Dern, he kind of fuddled around and stumbled through the whole movie. He was the driving force of the movie. You know, it's a character-driven film, but overall his performance didn't wow me in any way. Leonardo DiCaprio, I think it's a shame that he doesn't have several Oscars under his belt for Best Actor or Best Supporting Actor. But this one, I don't think is deserving of the win. I know everybody loves The Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not one of those people. I'm in the very slim minority. For me, The Wolf of Wall Street was the movie I was looking forward to the most for 2013, but I was also the most disappointed by. Biggest disappointment, most overrated movie of 2013 in my opinion. It basically took everything that was great from the movie Wall Street and Boiler Room, stripped it down, and just made it all about drugs and hookers. There's really no substance behind it. They didn't even go into depth about what they were doing. They even just write that off in certain scenes. It's just all about, you know, over-the-top, gratuitous, you know, sex and drugs and the usage of drugs. It's like a video game to me, that movie. It was just, there's no depth there. Some good acting performance and great soundtrack as well. But again, I think both of those could have been used in a better film, in my opinion. Again, Wolf of Wall Street, glitz, glamour, no substance. And I know mainstream audiences are just going to eat that up, but I personally don't think Leonardo DiCaprio deserves to win an Oscar for this performance. If he does, it'll be a makeup Oscar, much like Paul Newman winning for The Color of Money, or Denzel Washington winning for Training Day. I like Training Day, but his performance in there was not Oscar-worthy. Neither was Paul Newman's in The Color of Money. Paul Newman should have won many times over as well, and so has Denzel. He should have won before too. Those were makeup ones. And I feel like if Leonardo DiCaprio wins for Best Actor, it'll be a makeup Oscar, in my opinion. He just doesn't deserve it for that role. But the ones that definitely do are Chiwetel Ejiofor and Matthew McConaughey. I'd be happy with either one of those getting it. I think I'm going to go with Matthew McConaughey. That'll be my choice and pick, although I'd be happy with Chiwetel Ejiofor as well. But I'm going to go with Matthew McConaughey for Best Actor. And next up is Best Directing, and the nominees are David O. Russell for American Hustle, Alfonso Cuarón from Gravity, Alexander Payne for Nebraska, Steve McQueen for 12 Years a Slave, and Martin Scorsese for The Wolf of Wall Street. I know everybody's going to rate it for The Wolf of Wall Street and Martin Scorsese. I don't think he deserves it right there. For me personally, this is a two-horse race between Steve McQueen, 12 Years a Slave, and Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity. And again, I think Alfonso Cuarón is going to win. My choice, though, personally, would be Steve McQueen for 12 Years a Slave. I think Steve McQueen is a fantastic director. The movies that he's put out, especially with teaming up with Michael Fassbender, you've got Hunger, you've got Shame, and now 12 Years a Slave. All phenomenal films. Alfonso Cuarón, who also directed Children of Men, and he deserved way more attention for that movie. Very underrated dystopian sci-fi film that was just excellent. And I think he is deserving to win for Gravity. So I'm going to go with Alfonso Cuarón winning Best Director for Gravity. That's going to be my prediction, although I would prefer to see Steve McQueen win for 12 Years a Slave. But both are deserving. I wouldn't be disappointed with either one, although my preference is Steve McQueen. And last but not least is Best Picture with 9 nominations. And the nominees are American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, Philomena, 12 Years a Slave, The Wolf of Wall Street. I think half of those shouldn't have been nominated personally. If you're going to ask me the ones that should be nominated out of the few that were there, I would just say 2, I think, deserve to be nominated for Best Picture out of the ones nominated there. 12 Years a Slave and Dallas Buyers Club. I like some of the other films. I appreciate some of the other films, but I don't think they're Best Picture worthy, in my opinion. I know a lot of people, again, are big fans of Wolf of Wall Street. They want to see that win. I don't think that deserves to be anywhere in the conversation, in my opinion. Again, I just thought it was a lot of flash, no substance, just hookers and drugs. That's about it. There was really no development for the characters in there. They went from 0 to 60 within the first couple minutes. I really like Captain Phillips, and I really think Tom Hanks should have been nominated for Best Actor. I was actually really surprised by that snub. American Hustle, I like David O. Russell a lot, but this was not my favorite film from him. Her, a Spike Jonze film, I really did enjoy Her, but for me, it just misses my top 10 movies of the year. Nebraska, I thought that was a very entertaining, very funny movie, but dramatically paced. In some parts, the pacing could have been a little bit better. Philomena was very good, very touching. Wolf of Wall Street, again, you know my thoughts on that. Gravity, I thought was visually stunning, and it had depth as well. Great character development. It wasn't just people floating around in space. There's much more to it, in my opinion. There was a spirituality aspect to it as well. Dallas Buyers Club, very well acted, incredible acting performances, very tragic and touching as well. Very good film, definitely deserves to be nominated. And again, I did enjoy Captain Phillips as well, but for me, this is an easy choice with 12 Years a Slave. Definitely deserving by leaps and bounds. So yeah, 12 Years a Slave, for me, blew me away. My favorite film of the year is Blue is the Warmest Color, which is a French film, which didn't get nominated for technicality reasons because of the release date in France. That would be my personal favorite, and definitely would be my favorite for Best Foreign Film. But 12 Years a Slave was my second favorite film of the year, and could easily take Best Picture for many years in the past as well. I think it's a transcendent film, an epic tale, and it's truly tragic and touching. And I think Steve McQueen and everybody involved in the film, the DP, Sean Bobbitt, the score from Hans Zimmer, just all the acting performances, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Michael Fassbender, Lupita Nyong'o, just everybody actually played the roles just perfectly in that movie. Benedict Cumberbatch, just Brad Pitt, just everybody. It was great to see all the different recognizable faces in there as well. Paul Giamatti, the list goes on and on. Everybody, Alfre Woodard as well, everybody played their part just perfectly in that movie, and it was just such a beautiful yet tragic film. The way it was shot, all the performances. 12 Years a Slave, without a doubt, deserves to win, should win. That's my choice and prediction. So there you go. There are my choices and predictions for the 86th Academy Awards, the Oscars. Let me know what you think of my choices and predictions, and what would be your choices and predictions as well. Leave me a comment or video response down below. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.
Flubs.